must feed.
Research complete.
Are you ready for some Protoss? It's going to be Movie versus Pure on Match Point. Actually, my most memorable game between these two is on Match Point, even though I know they've only had 2 games together. Still, it's a very good game between them on this map in Pro League. Except, okay, up at the 2 o'clock position in purple is Movie. So down at the 8 o'clock position in blue is Pure. Don't have a funny voice for Pure, unfortunately. Yes, I only have a funny voice for 1/5 of the competitors in this round of 8. 1/4, I'm sorry. So let's see if Pure can... because Movie, the last time these two played on this map was kind of ridiculous. Pure, he took out one of Movie's nexuses very early at his natural expansion, and everyone was just like, well, that's it. Pure, he has his 2 bases up, so he's just going to roll right over Movie. And then Movie, he picked up High Templar with his shuttle, and the world was never the same since. He just dropped his High Templar everywhere, storm everywhere at each of the bases of Pure. And I think at some point Pure actually got a 3rd base, and he was storming that as well. Just so many storms, and at one point, Movie, he actually went to the top of the map, and he dropped his High Templar there, and just kind of went to the side with the shuttle as if to say, observers, look at the kill count on these High Templar. And it was something ridiculous, like 30 kills per High Templar or something like that. But I think that was a little bit of showboating from him. Although he could have just been checking the energy, I think there was more to it than that. So both these guys going for the exact same build. So let's get some predictions from the Nukenites. Zapatista Rage, who is actually the biggest Pure fan, I believe, writes, if Movie doesn't take down Pure quickly, Pure will storm over the top of him and take the series 2-0. His mechanics are too good once he gets going. Go Pure! So here's one from DF Cloud, writes, Movie will DT rush Pure to the movies. To the movies, punk. And that's actually one of Movie's favorite openings, opening with Dark Templar. Even though he opens with that high tech, he can somehow switch that into a straight-up macro game. Even if the other player went for Observatory first and his attack completely fails, he can switch into a regular macro game with drops and stuff like that very easily out of that opening. So I think we can expect to see that again from him today, as long as he keeps the scout away. The Cybernetics Core coming up, gas mining for both. So we're going to see where each player decides to tech. Here's another prediction from ASDFGH. Oh, they just pounded randomly on the keyboard. Right? I usually root for the one who got second in the previous OSL, so yeah, go Movie, go! Unfortunately, Movie just had a massive Manor pylon done to him. I didn't even notice the amount of... oh, man. Just a couple of probes left inside that Manor hole. The Manor hole. So, that pylon was actually cancelled from Pure, but it stopped a lot of mining there for a second. Upgrading Dragoon range at his Cybernetics core. So Pure has really impressed me lately with his level of play. I know he hasn't always been a very consistent player, but recently, I mean, if you're going to win a championship, it's all about the consistency within a matter of months. You don't have to be the best player in the world. All you've got to do is be great for 4 months, and then you can win. So it's actually easier said than done, though, because there are a lot of factors, pro league, personal issues, coach, your team, a lot of things to focus on that I don't think a lot of people actually think about that often. But, yep, got to stay consistent within a short period of time, and I think that Pure is definitely capable of doing that. Even though he's going up against a PvP monster in Movie. I mean, Movie is so good Protoss versus Protoss. I would not put any Protoss above him in this matchup. Not Stork, not Bisu. He's beaten both of them. He's beaten all the great Protoss players, so Movie definitely capable of destroying Pure. On that note, let's move on to another prediction from, I think, Joachim Wallen. Could be Joachim Wallen, depending on what country this person's from. Writes, last time I saw Movie versus Pure, I felt that Movie was really the stronger PvP player. So even tough, I think he means even though Pure is one of my favorites these days, I think it's going to be tough for him. There we go. So both players are actually putting down the Nexus at pretty much the same time. So this is going to be a very intense game, very mirrored builds from these guys so far. Let's see if Movie's put down any additional tech. I don't see the tech yet from him. And some Dragoons actually sneaking up for Pure. He's trying to sneak up, see if he can pick off troops, but that was a bad idea. Backing off with his Dragoons. Runs into one too many Dragoons, but he's still pushing his luck to pick off this Zealot. He really does not like Zealots. Pure... yeah, he dreams about Zealots destroying him, so he's got to get rid of those Zealots early. Citadel Vadun coming up for Movie, so he is going to open with Dark Templar. Ridiculous. And the robotics facility coming up for Pure at the exact same time. So as long as he gets his observatory early, he's going to be okay. And Movie putting down his forge. And this is actually one of the big weaknesses I've noticed in this type of opening from Movie, is that he generally doesn't have any means of detection of his own. And he might have realized that weakness, because now he's going to plop down a cannon or two just to give himself some early detection when he goes out with his DTs. But Pure is ready. He does have his robotics facility warped in. Let's see when he puts down the observatory. That will be critical. If he goes for the robotics support bay before observatory, this could be kind of a tight window for himself. Let's see what he does. Yep. Getting that robotic support bay up, but he does still have quite a bit of time, I think, because that robotic support bay, it's just about done. So I think he'll throw down the observatory soon. It's actually a pretty long distance between the bases on this map. It doesn't seem like it, but it definitely is. Cannons coming up for Movie just in case. Those aren't really going to help him out too much in this game, because Pure is not going for Dark Templar to start out with, but Movie doesn't know that. Observatory coming in, one of the fastest warping in buildings in the game, so I think that Pure will be okay. The Dark Templar are going to be out soon, but these Dark Templar aren't going to get anything done by the time that first observer comes in. So, in the meantime, let's get another prediction from Quakey, right? Pure will raffle stomp Movie so hard he can make butter out of him. I want some butter on my popcorn for this Movie. Yes, I like the cheesy Movie references. But the first Reaver out for Pure, he went for his Reaver before his Observer, so wow, this is actually going to be tighter than I thought. But still, I think he's going to have an Observer out in time, because he put down his Observatory, because why would he do that if he wasn't going to get an Observer out? And he does have all of his Dragoons in a complete line across, so I think he is anticipating these Dark Templar coming his way. He knows that Movie is well known for that type of opening, so we're probably going to see the Observer come up just in time. It's going to be close, maybe a little bit closer. Okay, here comes the Observer. So now Movie is going to sneak in and almost lose those Dark Templar. And I think, yeah, it looks like he's backing off. I think he saw the robotics facility, so he knows he's pretty much screwed as far as DTs go. But at least he'll be able to deny a third base for a little bit longer. So, okay, Movie's just going to run around with his Dark Templar. He's not going to be able to get anything done with them for a while. But that's okay. At least he has them out in the middle of the map. Still a very powerful unit, even if there are observers out there. And Movie is preparing for a drop strategy. Has High Templar out already. Already has a High Templar for Storm. A little bit too early for that, I think. I would have thought that more gateways, something like that. Another upgrade would be a better investment, because now Pure is pushing with a ton of troops. Okay, here's the first shuttle coming in. Movie is prepared at least at each of his bases. Each of his bases, he has some Dragoons getting ready to intercept that shuttle. So here comes the first shuttle. Let's see if Pure can get this done. He's going to try to get Reaver drop down here. Movie is prepared. Movie spots the shuttle now, trying to get into a position where he can snipe it. Now Pure is coming in right now. What? Dark Archon. Oh my god. Well, let me try to parse this out. Why the freaking hell is movie going for a Dark Archon?